Alright, grab that second soy latte because we're strapping back into the LPs for episodes 2 and 3 of Gnosia, where the time loop grind turns from a sneaky tease into full-on psychological blender. If episode 1 was the hook this night you got, these two crank the reel, yanking you through resets that feel less like deja vu and more like a cosmic prank call from the universe itself. We're talking butterfly timelines, shifting suspects, and enough gotcha twists to make even the most jaded among us veterans spill their beans. Yuri's not just surviving anymore, she's scheming, piecing together a puzzle where every shard is laced with doubt. Let's dive in, shall we? I'll keep it linearish, but fair warning, these eps are a Mobius strip of madness. Episode 2 loops the reset that bites back. Fade in on Yuri Chikanzai, her voice cracking with that roar, sleep-deprived Ace now laced with frantic hope jolting awake in the sickbay, the sterile hum of med scanners buzzing like angry hornets in her skull. It's exactly like the start of episode 1, a cold slap under her back, the acrid tang of antiseptic in the air, but this time, her eyes snap wide with the weight of carried memories. The blood, the screams, SQ's glitchy cackles, she morphed into Gnosia mid-slaughter. It's all there, etched like scar tissue. Not again, she mutters, fist clenching around the phantom ache of a knife wound that isn't there. Yet. Enter Setsu Ikimihe's skull, deadpan delivery sharper than a vibroblade, the medic who's equal parts guardian angel and emotional roadblock. Let's walk and talk. Can you get up? Same line, same tilt of her head under that tousled bob and bob, but Yuri's done playing passive protagonist. Bursting with loop lore, she grabs Setsu's arm hard and spills the doll, the betrayal, the cry of a fiasco, the way the ship reset like a glitch sim. You gave me this power, Setsu. The looping, it's because of you. His skull sells the confusion masterfully, her Setsu blinking those wide, unreadable eyes, a flicker of something recognition. Pity. Crossing her face before she shrugs it off with the right power. Honey, the only thing I gave you is a stim shot and bad advice. Keep up, or we'll both be floating fertilizer. The duo hustles through the LP's labyrinthine corridors, those endless, vein-like holes pulsing with emergency strobes that cast long, accusatory shadows. Alarms were in the distance, a silent song of doom, as they dodge sparking conduits and whisper fights between crewmates. Yuri's mind races, armed with intel. She knows SQ's the monster this time. The android's got that telltale twitch, her holographic freckles glitching like bad code, voice modulator warbling into something subvocal and sinister. They burst into the main console atrium, where Captain Stella Sayori Hayami, all frosty paws cracking under pressure, is already rallying the troops around the holographic footboard. The cruiser powder keg, Rakio Hiroki Nanami, his orange mop flopping as he paces like a caged pulsar barking wild theories, Gina Somisito, emerald curls framing a smile that's pure saccharine venom fluttering lashes and dropping alibis like confetti. No time for chit-chat, the debate ignites faster than a plasma leak. Yuri, voice steady despite the internal scream fest, points straight at SQ, she's off script this loop. The glitches, the says it's her. The room erupts. SQ tilts her head with that creepy porcelain grin, denying it in a symphony of static human error meatbag. Or are you the glitch? Rakio piles on, all hot air and zero chill, yeah, tin can, your vibes are deader than my last hookup, while Gina plays the fluttering dove, voting Yuri with a pout, but she's so agitated. Trauma does funny things to people. The votes tally in agonizing slow-mo, hollow lights flicker, accusations hang like guillotines. SQ gets the nod 4 votes, including Yuri's ironclad push. The cryopod wheezes open, amor frost and finality, and SQ's dragged in, her last echoing into digital decay. Relief? Ah. Cut to night cycle, Yuri barricades in her quarters, heart jackhammering, whispering please be right like a prayer to void gods. Then slash. Blood arcs in 0G pulse, but this time it's not her bunkmate's throat. No, the screams are from engineering, and when Stella hauls her out, the reveal hits like a raven, the pod's light blinks red. SQ was clean. Gina was the Gnosia, slipping through the cracks like smoke. Sito's Gina morphs in a heartbeat, skin rippling like disturbed water, eyes blooming into multifaceted voids Ishiku's, see tomorrow, cutie, before the leap snaps. Yuri dies in a spray of crimson, Stella's desperate Yuri, fading into white noise. Reset. Loop 3 kicks off with Yuri hyperventilating in sickbay, Setsu patching her up with that same detached efficiency. But here's the gut punch, the interactions glitch subtly. Setsu's questions probe deeper, you look like you've seen a ghost ship, and Yuri, wiser but wearier, holds her cards closer. The console scene? Chaos squared. Yuri is out on Gina from the jump, citing instincts that sound half mad, but Rakio backs her this time, his bluster turning protective. Foot swing well, Gina edges out with 3 tallies, her pod sealing with a hiss that tastes like victory. Yuri dares to breathe until the red light. SQ this run, her form twisting mid-reveal, claws sprouting like thorns. Another death, another reset. The episode closes on Yuri slumped against the bulkhead, whispering how many times, as the LPs warps into infinity. Vibe. A hamster wheel of hope and horror, where every win's a feint, and trust the real killer. Episode 3 shadows multiple monsters, fractured alliances. Episode 3 picks up the shards without mercy, slamming us into loop 4, or is it 5? Yuri's lost count, and so are we. Brilliant chaos. The sick way open as a ritual now. Yuri's eyes flutter open to Setsu's prodding, but the dialogue's evolved into a tense tango. You're looping again, aren't you? Setsu murmurs, her voice a threadbare whisper, hinting at buried knowledge that makes your conspiracy radar ping. Yuri nods, throat tight, and they bolt corridors alive with flickering hollow maps of crew vitals, red blips winking like accusatory eyes. Big shift, whispers of multiple Gnosia infestations ripple through the vents, crew chatter turning from singular suspect to Hydra hunt. It's not one, Rakio growls over comms. It's them. Plural. We're infested. The console? A powder keg with lit fuses. Stella's command phrase at the edges, Hayami's delivery lace with micro tremors, her silver braid whipping as she slams the table, 2 votes per cycle, max. No more half measures. Yuri, battle scarf from Paiju Rivers, plays chessmaster. She corners Autumn Kono Hanazawa, ethereal ilk masking steel in a side alley chat, prying at her vision's cryptic flashes of alternate fates that mirror Yu's loops. I see threads snapping, Autumn breathes, eyes distant as nebulae. One wrong pull, and we all unravel. Renowned Tekio Otsuka, his roars now edged with desperation, charges in, accusing everyone, even Stella, while Gina slinks through, her innocent sack cracking into sly deflections. Darling, if I were the bug, I'd have eaten you first. Thoughts erupt in a frenzy. Yuri tags Gina and SQ, her case a frantic weave of loop evidence. Gina's too slippery, SQ's too glitchy. Rakio echoes, fist bumping her like a bro in a bar brawl. But the tellers? A nightmare split, Gina cried, SQ spared. Night falls heavy, the ship groaning like a wounded beast. Yuri teams with Setsu for patrol intimate, edge of your seat tension as they creep through engineering, shadows spilling like ink. Whispers, clangs, a silhouette darting, then chaos. Claws rake from the dark, not 1 killer but 2 silhouettes lunging in sync. SQ's form warps first, her android shell cracking to reveal pulsating voids. Gina's laugh echoes from vents, a second assailant pouncing. Blood ballet ensues, Ronan bursts in, swinging a pipe like a mad batter, buying Yuri seconds to drag Setsu clear. But its fusel threw its sled in tandem, crimson fogging the air recyclers. Yuri's last gasp, they are, together. Red light on Gina's pod innocent. SQ stew. The true doer? Buried deeper. Reset hits like whiplash, loop 5 birthing Yuri into a fractured dawn. Setsu pulls her aside pre-console, I remember fragments. Enough to know you're not crazy. Alliance forged in whispers, they pivot. Yuri outs Roman's rage as a blind spot, Autumn's visions as a weapon. Console climax, a brutal melee of words, Stella breaking ranks to vote her own gut. SQ and Roman gather double cryo, pod sealing induet. Yuri's pulse thunders, this feels right. Night patrols a gauntlet, they corner Gina solo, her mask slipping in a tear-streaked confession. No twist. She's clean, but the shadows birth Autumn, her serene facade shattering into horror, visions turning prophetic screams as she lunges. Death Symphony plays against Setsu's gutted mid-defend, Yuri's vision blurring in arterial spray. Red lights mock them, romp pair. Episode caps on the warp jump, Yuri call fetal and cry away, murmuring, how many more? The vibe. Escalating dread wrapped in fragile bonds, like a trust fall over an abyss. Humor flickers Rakio's botched heroics, a quip from Setsu about looping like bad dits, but it's undercut by the grind, the creeping isolation. These sets aren't just plot, they are merited out, leaving you telling your own crew like suspects at a cosmic dinner party. Dunwick is doubling down on Gnosia's pixel sci-fi aesthetic in episodes 2-3, and damn if it doesn't mostly soar like a well-thrusted shuttle. Itori's character designs, polished by Arisa Matsuo's animation tweaks, are still the crown jewel, vibrant pops of color against the LP's oppressive chrome. Yu's blue mop gets more dynamic now, whipping in 0G chases with fluid strands that scream personality. Setsu's medic wife smudged with realistic grime, her subtle eye twitches and loop talks a masterclass in microacting. Gina's emerald allure? Weaponized C2 sultry per sync to sinuous limb work that makes her every sidestep feel like a siren's sway. Neo faces shine too. Autumn's lavender wisps flow like ethereal smoke in vision sequences. Hanazawa's whispers amplified by soft focus glows that border on painterly. The ensemble's a feast, each quirk Rakio's sloppy chaos, Ronan's vein bulging snarls popping in tight shots that capture the claustrophobia without flattening the energy. Animations where the highs hit stratospheric. Those debate scenes? Elevated to operatic frenzy, cameras well in dizzying arcs around the console, capturing sweat beat physics and holographic footlights refracting off terrified faces like disco ball dread. Loop transitions to poetic gold, fades to soul from blood splatters to sickbay whites, motifs of cracking pod lights bleeding into alarm strobes, all underscored by that throbbing synth pulse score ramping from whisper to wail. Poise cast. Untouchable Anzai's Yuri fractures beautifully across resets, from defined bark to hollow rasp, his skull with Setsu layers warmth under eyes, her fragments line a gut punch of subtext. Sound design seals it, claw shricks echo with wet menace, cryo hisses like exhaling dragons, building a sonic cage that amps every glance. But let's nudge where it wobbles kindly. The CGI integration flagged in Ep 1 stumbles harder in multi-kill nights. Those dual Gnosia souls. Ambitious shadows and morphs look flirty, limbs phasing like budget holograms. Gina's ripple transform clips through bulkheads once, a ghost in the render machine. Wider corridor pans drag, the LP's feeling more static set piece than breathing behemoth. Zero G blood pearls lose cohesion and frenzy, diffusing into pixel soup rather than visceral orbs. It's not ruinous. Stoneworker's 3D CG assists camera work wizardry and consoles, nailing the predatory circle, but these apps' ramped action exposes scenes. A tighter 2D/CG blend could fix it, as is. It's 85% stellar, 15% warp speed polish needed. Still, the heart of those intimate lube whispers, vision flash montages beats with gorgeous fervor, making every frame of suspect worth scrutinizing. Exhaling steam from the review rant, I'm equal parts wrecked and wired after episodes 2-3, like I've mainlined a cocktail of espresso, existential dread, and just one more leap addiction. Gnosia isn't content with setup, it's a relentless engine churning Yuri and a surly set expose the rot beneath crew camaraderie. The obsession? That butterfly ripple tiny choices birthing wild divergences, turning sure thing votes into bloodbaths. Yuri's arc sings from reactive ever-person to fractured tactician, hands are nailing the toll of omniscience and isolation. And Setsu, his scholars enigmas, me shipping theories harder than fan art. Those fragments hint at a backstory that'll gut punch like a Gnosia claw. Gina's slippery charm? Peak antagonist catnip, every coy glance screams love to hate ya. Humor's a lifeline amid the abyss. Rakio's flop sweat bravado and vote proof. Baby, Lance note laughs that cut the tension like a pressure valve, while Setsu's dry this loop's already worse than the last hangover quips feel like cafe banter in a blender. It's that blend brain needed of shampoo and laced with heart, where laughs don't undercut stakes but humanize them, that's got me glued. Critiques aside, CGI, polish up. These apps prove the adaptation's guts, adapting game loops into linear thrill without losing replay value soul. Chef's kiss. Fingers crossed for the sprawl, with 21 apps teased. I crave deeper Dad Sutton's visions unraveling Gnosia origins, maybe Empire lore bleeding in via warp logs. Will Yuri crack alliances with Wildcard Ronan, or does Gina see you tomorrow hide redemption arcs? And Setsu girls, spill those fragments before I manifest to loop myself. This series is 2025's stealth MVP, the kind that sneaks into your brain melt rotation and refuses to eject. Over our next cafe huddle bet, we'll be diagramming suspect verbs on napkins. Who's your loop crush? It me, I'm through resets deep in hypotheticals already.